Oh, I need to get my phone charger. Alright gang, what's going on? It is me, Sturk, back again with another Star Wars episode. Something, I don't know, Knights of the Old Republic. I'm going to talk to a handful of people to see if they have anything to talk about. I'm pretty sure Candace does. I know Bastila does after last episode. So let's talk about war stories.
Yeah, what do you want?
I was wondering if you had any more war stories.
I think I'll tell you a bit about the recent war we had with the Republic. That might be more familiar to you. The one where Jedi Revan beat my people. We started by conquering worlds outside the Republic. We did it quietly so the Republic wouldn't really know what was going on until it was too late. When we finally did hit the Republic worlds, they had no idea we were coming. We came in through 3 invasion corridors in adjacent sectors. Anyone who put up a fight, or wouldn't fight, was crushed. We razed whole worlds trying to provoke the Republic into fighting us. I don't particularly enjoy wiping out worlds for its own sake, but the cowardly tactics the Republic defenders used left us little choice.
What do you mean?
Hiding in the homes of civilians, using families as shields, thinking we would not use appropriate force on their bases inside major cities. They underestimated our resolve, and what measures are acceptable in war. Those who cannot defend themselves should not be around those who can in battle. If annihilating a city is the kind of power it takes to overwhelm a Republic shield device, then that's what we did. Necessary force to destroy all opposition.
You could have found another way.
I have no time or patience for cowards. They deserve to be hunted down and exterminated like vermin. There was no honor in wiping them out like rats. But some of your forces did redeem the Republic in our eyes. Especially later.
You mean when we kicked your tails?
Later, when Revan had joined the war. But we'll get back to that. We've wasted too much time already. Is there something else you want to know?
Stimulants.
Stimulants make a warrior out of even the weakest human. Here's a stamina-boosting stimulant to help you get tougher. There anything else you need?
Thanks, Candy. Now, funny thing, I took this robe because I thought it was green. It's not. It's just the normal Jedi robe. Bastila needs to talk.
How can I help?
I'd like to know more about you,
Yes, I suppose I can understand your curiosity, given the bond that connects us. Very well. I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Tell me how you joined the Jedi, then.
I was found to be strong with the Force at a young age, as most Padawans are. As a girl, I was given to the Order to be trained. When I joined the Order, I left my family on Tal Ravan, as all Padawans do. My family is still there, the last that I heard. I've had little contact with them, as it is discouraged.
Discouraged? Why?
Relationships with family members are fraught with powerful emotions. Such extremes are to be avoided. Anger and hate are the worst, but even love can lead to folly.
Don't you miss your family at all?
Like all who join the Order, I have learned to embrace the life I've chosen. I had to let go of my attachments to my family.
You don't sound very convinced.
It can be a hard lesson to learn. I was not on good terms with all of my family, but I do remember missing my father terribly for a long time.
Who weren't you on good terms with?
I was not on good terms with my mother. I was only a little girl when I left, but I was old enough to resent her and the way she treated my father. She pushed my father into treasure hunting. I spent all my young life on ships, traveling from one false lead to the next. She whittled away my father's entire fortune, and I hated her for it. I think she was relieved to give me to the Jedi, but my father was heartbroken.
You never tried to get in touch with your father again?
A child is too young to understand the sacrifices that must be made. It's better if they have no contact with their family once they're removed. Once I was older, I realized the wisdom of this policy. A Jedi must do what is needed, personal desires notwithstanding. Love can only obscure and confuse the matter.
You sound very sad when you say that.
Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others. I do not wish to discuss this anymore. I would rather return to our mission.
Carthy Boo?
Yes, what's on your mind?
We didn't end our last discussion very well.
I'm not very good at this. I know I owe you an apology. More than one, probably. I was just so desperate to finally face Saul directly in the battle over Terrace. And now the Jedi have us looking for these star maps. I know this mission is important, it's just, I feel a bit useless. I mean, I can fight, sure, but I'm no Jedi. All this feels completely out of my league.
Why don't you return to the front lines, then?
Because this is more important. This may really finally make a difference. I suppose even if I can't figure out everything that's going on, I still want to help if I can. I just hate not knowing what's going on and feeling this helpless. But I shouldn't have taken that out on you. I've been a royal pain in the backside, haven't I?
Sure have.
Well, I guess I should be at least a little pleased that I haven't lost my touch. So, I'm sorry. Will you accept my apology?
Only if you agree to work with me for once.
Done. Let's get underway then, shall we? Partner?
I love Karth. Karth is a good boy. Alright, so I think it's time for us to obey the laws there on Manaan. Actually, we need to go back to Yavin, just to check in. Alright, we got the red robes back.
Got something on your mind, do you?
Why'd you decide to come with me?
You got yourself a fast little ship. I'd forgotten what engine sounded like. The closest thing to that on Kashyyyk is an uller in mating season. Ugh, frightful.
So you wanted to ride on my ship?
Or it could be for the free food. What's the gunk that comes out of the synthesizer on this bucket anyway? Do you never clean the darn thing?
No, seriously, tell me.
I'm old, damn it. I'm allowed to be enigmatic when I want to be. And don't you go telling me otherwise. You know, you remind me of someone else I knew ages ago. Pleasant enough fellow, great destiny, all of that. Breath like a bantha.
Is that a comment on my breath?
No, but it could be. An Anduvian salt tablet would clear that right up, you know. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, Andor Vex was his name. The force swirled around him like a hurricane. That's how great his destiny was.
I've never heard of him.
No, you wouldn't have. Sometimes swirling force is just swirling force. It gets us old Jedis excited at our age, so we go, ooh, destiny. Well, it turned out that poor Andor believed a wee bit too much in the infallibility of that destiny. That overconfidence turned out to be his downfall.
Is there supposed to be some hidden meaning in all this?
I don't know. Are you overconfident? I hadn't noticed. Even if I had, I would never comment on it. We're talking about Andor, remember? Let's see. Oh yes, Andor's downfall. I was pretty young myself when it happened. At the time, I thought that Andor's destiny couldn't be more boring.
How young are we talking?
Well, let's just say that I was a strapping young lad with a full head of hair, and Coruscant was a small town with a well. I was just about to abandon Andor to whatever the Force intended for him when his ship was overtaken by a Dimian warship. Now, you've probably never heard of the Dimians, but at the time they were a nasty lot led by a nastier overlord named Krat. Tall fellow, big teeth. Krat has us hauled onto the bridge of his ship for questioning, and that's when I knew that Andor's destiny was at hand.
Andor killed Krat, I take it?
Of course he did. Haven't you been listening? It was not in the way you'd probably expect, though. Well, Andor decides that his destiny makes him invulnerable and starts making all sorts of demands. Free me now. I'm not answering questions. Blah, blah, blah. Don't you know who I am? Krat decides he's had enough and begins crushing Andor's neck. I told the boy he should have kept his mouth shut. I think he agreed, too, or those could have just been gurgling noises. Well, anyway. Finally, Krat has enough of Andor and tosses him aside into this giant energy intake shaft. Andor gets sucked in and starts bouncing around, screaming. Maybe Andor hit something sensitive on the way down, or just didn't agree with the reactor core. Next thing I know, all the ship's alarms are ringing.
You're kidding.
Everyone panics, and I run, barely making it to the ship in time before the explosion. Krat dies horribly, and the Dimians never quite recovered. Changed the political course of the entire sector for centuries to come. I'd call that quite a destiny, wouldn't you?
But how can you even be sure Andor was responsible?
What, are you kidding? What are the odds of that happening anyway? 1 billion to 1? You should do so well as to be sucked into the engine of some evil Sith Lord, you know. Andor was a hero. Sort of. Anyway, go on. My throat is dry and you're making me cranky. Shoo!
God, I love Jolee. He's such a good character. Because he's just fun. He's just fun. Sell. Okay. Oh no, nothing's changed. Interesting. Let's play some Bazak. I'll wager some money. I got some money I can throw around right now. Whatever. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Does not even matter. Does not even matter. Goodbye. Goodbye. I'm leaving. Candace, do you have any more war stories?
Yeah, what do you want?
No. I think how it works is you need to level up between conversations. That sounds right, anyways. Alright, let's go to Manaan. Oh, I'm having a... Oh, it's a dream. Oh, it smells like fish. Fishy, fishy. And a locker. Oh, I see a locker.
Another vision. The Force is guiding us, helping us retrace the steps of Malak and his old master, leading us ever closer to the Star Forge. It is strange that anyone would have built a star map here. The entire surface of Manaan is covered by nothing but vast oceans.
Maybe the land was once above the surface.
It is possible. The melting of polar caps or a cataclysmic earthquake could have buried the land beneath the waves eons ago. The ocean floor is vast, and much of it is uncharted, even by the native Selkath. But how could Revan and Malak have found their way down? No doubt things will become more clear once we discover the star map's location.
Right, that's fine.
How can I help?
You wish to talk to me?
I do. I've been watching you, studying you closely to see what kind of progress you've made since your training at the hands of Master Zar.
I think we both know the real reason you've been watching me.
You never give up, do you? I admit, I'm interested in you. I find you intriguing, compelling even, but it's not what you think. You have a great gift. You have an awesome command of the Force, and I tremble when I think of how you might misuse it.
I make you tremble? Do you get all tingly inside too?
What? No, of course not. Not like that anyway. In many ways, you are dangerous. You could be the savior of the galaxy, or you could bring untold destruction upon us all. I've seen how you've resisted many temptations and continue to walk the path of the light side. Very commendable. But I'm afraid you might stray from this path. You need to see what the dark side represents in its entirety, for it is what we battle. Only the wisdom of a Jedi Master can truly explain this, but I will do my best to make you understand.
What are you trying to tell me?
The dark side is not simply giving in to anger, temptation, or to use the Force to destructive ends. These things only lead to the dark side. The dark side grows stronger and more insidious the closer you draw to it. It begs you to surrender to it, to release all its terrible power, and it becomes harder and harder to resist. And once you stop resisting, it's too late. It twists you up inside and turns you into a mockery of everything you once stood for.
You seem to know that temptation very well.
I am no less resistant to temptation than any other. I simply have the benefit of training that you do not. But even the training of the Jedi might not be enough to save us. We need only to look at the atrocities which have been committed by those under its sway to understand the terrible, corrupting evil of the dark side. Millions dead, and far more suffering. What sort of person would you have to become to perform such deeds gladly?
I couldn't see myself ever doing such things.
And that is why the dark side is so insidious. If you are not careful, you do not even see each small step you take towards it until it's too late. It's so easy to think that we would never fall prey to such a horror, that we have unlimited control, vigilance, and foresight. If only that were true. The Sith have become powerful because there are many Jedi who've succumbed to the lure of the dark side and joined their cause. What greater weapon is there than to turn an enemy to your cause, to use their own knowledge against them? We are weakened while they are strengthened, so we must harden our hearts and do whatever is required to fight against the dark side, even when the battle becomes wearying.
Do whatever's required, such as?
I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side. But I sense something ominous lurking in those shadows. But words alone cannot save one from the dark side. Come, we should continue with the task at hand. When the time comes, I only hope we are all strong enough to do what we must.
Me too. Garth?
Yes, what's on your mind?
Tell me why you want revenge on Saul so badly.
I already told you, he betrayed us all.
Just seems to be more personal than that's all.
Well, there is more to it. I'm sure you don't want to hear about it.
I do, if that's alright with you.
It's just that I don't talk about it very much, okay? I told you about my homeworld, Telos. 4 years ago, Saul led the Sith fleet there and demanded its surrender. The planet refused, and Saul proceeded to devastate its entire surface. Millions died. I had a wife and a son on Telos. I thought they would be safe there, but my task force arrived too late to be of much help. We didn't have enough medical supplies. The colony was burning and the dying were everywhere. I remember holding my wife and screaming for the medics, but they didn't come in time.
That's terrible. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Except I did, because I played the game before.
Of course not. How could you? I had nothing left after that, really. I devoted myself to the fleet. Hunting Saul was my only purpose. I miss them. And I know killing Saul won't bring them back. And it won't make me happy again, but I have to do it. I don't expect you to understand, but I have to pay him back for what he's done. I have to. It's all I have left.
What was she like, your wife?
She had courage, and she was stubborn. Could never talk her out of anything once she put her mind to it. And she hated it when I signed back onto the fleet at the start of the war. I had planned on leaving soon, to join her.
I didn't mean to pry.
Oh, it's all right, I don't mind. You deserve some kind of, explanation.
So what happened to your son? You didn't say.
His name was Dustil, and I don't know what happened to him. The colony was a complete ruin, and we never found any trace of him. I made inquiries and followed the reports from Telos for years, but I stopped. Anyway, I hope that answers your questions. Let's continue with what we were doing.
Perfect. Okay, so that's... I think we can proc both of these guys as companion quests after those conversations. So that's good. That's really good. Let's see, Juhani. Juhani's is weirdly bugged. I think we should do Juhani's last. Okay, Manaan time. I'm gonna bring Karth and Basila to see which one of their things procs, and I might pop back in and then pop back out to see if it procs again. Actually, I'm only gonna bring Karth. I'll bring Karth and Jolie. I think Jolie has one that he can proc to. Actually, probably not here on Manaan, because this stuff happens here on Manaan. Alright, here we go. Ooh, what's this?
You Republic people are so pathetic, sitting around groveling at the table scraps the galactic senators deign to give you. It makes me sick.
The senators work for the good of the whole galaxy, not for individual gain.
Ha! Don't make me laugh, you gutless simp. It's the destiny of weak-minded fools like you to be ruled over by the strong, like we Sith.
I'm warning you. Don't push me or you'll get just what you're asking for.
Try it. Just try it. I'd love to see you throw the first punch. And with all the cameras around, the Selkath would be all over you inside of 30 seconds. You break their laws. You pay the price, Republic scum. But I can see that you're not man enough to back up your words anyway. If you ever feel like relieving yourself of your worthless existence, feel free to come by our enclave here. We have many, many ways to fulfill your wish.
The Sith and the Republic both are on this planet. And they have to deal with each other.
Oh, I apologize, Master Jedi. I should not have been rude.
That's alright.
No, really. I should apologize. I should try to control myself. As you Jedi do. Is there anything I can help you with?
Why did the Sith upset you so much?
Well, these damn Sith are everywhere on Manaan, pushing us Republic citizens around, trying to goad us into breaking the law somewhere.
Breaking the law?
Yeah, the Selkath want to maintain their neutrality in this war we're fighting with the Sith, and they enforce it very strictly. So, we just have to sit here and let the Sith insult us, and we can't raise a hand against them. Otherwise, the Republic will face severe KotOR export restrictions, and that could lose us the war altogether.
What's KotOR?
You're joking, right? I'm sorry, but everyone knows what KotOR is. It's the most powerful healing agent in the galaxy. I would have died several times myself if we didn't have this stuff handy. But the reason it's important here is that KotOR is only found naturally on Manaan, and all of our attempts to synthesize it have failed miserably. So, we sit here on the surface, the Selkath harvesting what KotOR bubbles up from the bottom of the ocean, and we buy it from them. Well, us and the Sith, of course. The Selkath don't want to play favorites.
The Republic and Sith both stay here?
The Selkath think that by staying neutral, they can play both sides, selling KotOR to everyone that needs it, and making themselves too valuable to be worth conquering. Well, that, and they threaten to destroy the only natural source of KotOR on the planet if anyone tries to attack them. But I think they're underestimating the length the Sith will go to get what they want. They're probably planning something already. Is there anything else you require?
This guy's really cool. This is one of my favorite people in the game.
Of course. If you have any other questions, you should probably see Roland Wan. He's the Republic diplomat here. He's by the Republic Enclave near the visitor residences. Oh, if you don't know where that is, go north from here, then south past the port official in the first courtyard, east into the second courtyard, then north, then east again. You got that? Have a pleasant stay, Master Jedi.
Literally, nameless Republic soldier. He's one of the characters that makes this game as good as it is. Like, there's no reason for him to be as good of a character. He's not like a good character. He's a basic character, but he's just neat. Even though he has joined your group, Jolie remains a somewhat mysterious character. Maybe you should speak to him about why he chose to come with you. Speak to.
Got something on your mind, do you?
You never did actually say why you decided to come with me.
No, I never did I?
Are you always going to be this elusive?
Elusive? Me elusive? Obviously, you've never tried to grab a Twi'lek dancing girl after drinking too much Onderan Willick juice. At any rate, I already told you why I wanted to leave. I'd seen everything I wanted to on Kashyyyk. Time to go. Time to move on.
You look plenty happy there to me.
You live in an overgrown stump with a tax beating down your door, and you tell me how happy you would be. I was pleased just to have visitors. How many kilometer-high trees can you find an interest in before you figure you've had enough? I'd bet you can't be bothered to stay in one room for more than 15 minutes. And then there's all the critters in the Shadowlands. I'm just happy to be back in space, doing something new. Is that too much to ask?
No, I guess not.
There. Now, was that so hard? An old man has to be allowed some petty eccentricities. Nice to see you agree for once. I'll admit, for all its flaws, Kashyyyk was home enough. But when you came along and I saw the destiny you had before you, I couldn't help but be intrigued.
You know what my destiny is?
Of course not. Weren't you listening last time? I can see that you have a destiny before you, but the details are far from clear. In fact, everything about you that I can see is odd. Slightly off, as if my eyes are trying to trick me. Something is very dark about you. But, I'm sure you don't need to hear my ruminations. You've probably got enough nosy Jedi offering you one opinion after another to make you sick.
No, tell me more what you see.
Your future will come of its own accord, trust me. Sometimes navel-gazing at it doesn't get you anywhere. I wouldn't worry about it too much if I were you. You remind me a bit of Nomi. And that can be all bad.
Who's Nomi?
Nomi Sunrider. She came late to the Force, just as you have, and became one of the greatest Jedi ever. Oh, fine lass. Whether you'll follow the same path remains to be seen. For one thing, we'll never get anywhere if you stand around chatting up old men all day.
So, you're along as some kind of observer?
Nonsense. Have I ever refused to help you when you asked? How confused can one person be anyway? One thing I will say is that this little escapade does remind me a bit of my adventuring days before the war. Those were exciting times. Or at least it would remind me of those times if we didn't stand around. What's keeping you? You're too young to be so talkative. Shoo! Shoo!
Oof. Okay, bye. I think it's a ways down that actually procs the stuff. This merchant. Oh. Yep, there it is.
Karth! Karth Onesi, is that you?
Jordo?
It is you, isn't it? I knew it when I laid eyes on you. You old space dog. How have you been? I thought for sure you'd be fighting on some ship out there.
I was. I crashed.
That's pretty rich. I can't imagine what it would take to keep you on the ground. Must have something to do with your friend here, eh? How's it going?
Your friend of Karth's, I take it?
Sure am. We joined the militia together back on Telos. That was a lot of years ago, of course.
So what are you doing here, Jordo? Last time I saw you was on, Telos, actually.
Yeah, it's a shame about home. Telos still hasn't recovered. The family and I moved on, and I'm working for Zerka now. I didn't see you after... what I mean is, my condolences on your wife. I heard what happened. At least your boy made it through all right.
My boy? You mean Dustle?
Yes, of course. I saw him at my last stop on Korriban, though he didn't recognize me. You didn't know he was there?
No. Jordo, Dustel's been missing since the attack on Telos. Are you absolutely certain it was him?
Yeah, I'd recognize Dustil anywhere. Positive. He's joined the Sith, Garth.
What do you mean he's joined the Sith?
There's an academy for the Sith on Korriban. He's a student there. I saw him suited up in their outfit and everything. Sorry, I thought you knew.
No, I didn't. Well, thanks for telling me, Jordo.
Sure, no problem. Good to see you again, Garth. Hope everything works out with Dustil.
Dustil is alive. We have to go to the Korriban Academy and find him.
I understand. We'll go as soon as possible.
Thank you. I just have to see him. I have to know what happened to him. All this time I thought he was... I mean, he must be a man by now.
Alright, well there's that. Oh, Garth, you're being slippery.
What do you need?
You want to talk?
Talk about what? The only thing I want to do right now is find Dustil. If he's alive, there's just nothing else I want to think about. I'll understand if we can't look for him right now, but if we could, it would be a huge load off my mind.
Alright, but now we can leave Garth and we'll take Bastila and... yeah, Bastila and Canderous. Oh, wait. Okay.
How can I help?
Why did the Council send me with you on this mission?
Why? I could not accomplish this on my own. I need the aid of others, especially one who is strong in the Force. The bond between us made you a natural choice. Besides, the events on Taris prove that the Force wanted to bring us together for this mission. And there is little left to chance when the Force is involved. Is that not enough for you?
If the Force wants us to be together, why do you keep resisting my undeniable charms?
I said we were brought together for our mission, to stop Malak. I hardly think the Force would be pushing us toward a romantic involvement when the fate of the galaxy is at stake. Please try to stay focused. I doubt the Council would approve if they knew we were busy discussing our mutual attraction when we should be saving the galaxy from Malak.
Mutual attraction? I knew you were interested in me.
Mutual attraction? I never said... It's just an expression. Whatever our feelings... whatever your feelings, you have to try to ignore them. Don't let this complicate things. Finding the missing pieces of the star maps is our only hope of locating the Star Forge and defeating Malak. The Council explained all this quite clearly.
It just seems odd they would send me off without a master to guide me.
I admit, there were times that I wondered if this is more than just a mission to stop Malak. There were times when I wondered if this was also a way for the Council to test my own abilities.
I get the feeling that there's more going on than I know.
I wondered if the Council wanted to see how I would help and guide you on our quest. I wondered if they were testing me to see if I was ready to become a Jedi Master myself. And then I realized how foolish such thoughts were. As the Council explained, sending a Master in our group would only have drawn unwanted attention from the Sith. The fate of the galaxy is at stake. The Council would not risk it merely to test me. They calculated the risks, and in the end chose the only option available.
I guess that makes sense.
You must learn to trust in the wisdom of the Council. Your destiny will come when its appointed time. You mustn't be so impatient.
Me? You're the one who thought this was her big audition for masterhood.
Must you be so frustrating? I admit, I had a moment of foolish pride, but I'm over it. Now I am focused on my true responsibilities. I'm simply trying to help you and complete this mission, and yet you battle me at every turn.
What can I say? It's fun.
Fun? Fun? Driving me insane is your idea of a good time?
Lighten up, I'm only joking.
You are a very odd man. Do you know that? I simply don't know how to deal with you. All I want to do is help you, but you seem determined to drive me mad.
I'm not so bad. You just have to learn to accept me for what I am.
Unfortunately, it isn't as easy as that, but your point is well taken. Come on, come. Let's move on. There's much to be done.
Cool. It's Jolan Apet. What do you want? Who are you? My name is Jolan. I'm just a traveling player with no special story to tell. Are you interested in the game? Yeah. Yeah. That's a good game. I suppose than I thought. You interested in another narrative? Okay. Well, I just wanted to get one win. That'd be nice. Just one. Right. Cellcath Port Official. Manaan, while you're here, I trust you follow all the rules governing the activities of off-worlders. What are the rules exactly? The single most important law in Manaan is very simple. Cultists smuggling is punishable by death. If you're carrying any unprocessed culture, you better have a permit. The other rule is very simple. Keep the peace here in Manaan. Maintain a careful neutrality. React very harshly to people who jeopardize their neutral status. Any confrontations between the Sith and the Republic are dealt with swiftly and decisively. Is understood? I understand. The dock can be You will have to pay this fee each time you dock in Manaan, or you will not be permitted into Auto City. I don't need to pay the docking fee. Ah, I see. Yes, you do not need to
The
pay.
Jedi Council wouldn't approve, but they always were a little stodgy about using the Force on people. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
The gates of Auto City are now open. You may come and go as you please, so long as you do not leave the planet. If you do, you'll have to pay the docking fee once more. Okay, so that's why I wanted to get the mind thing. Also,
obey the laws here on Manaan, human.
I love that. It's so funny to me. I don't think there's anything too crazy going on here.
Hey, I'm working here. Go talk to the diplomatic rep if you got something to say.
Whatever. That was rude. I'm a Jedi. I'll kill you. I won't. I'll just talk about it. Alright, what are you? West Courtyard. Manaan's a big city and all of it looks the same. Alora?
Jolie, it is you. I need your help.
Laura, of all the people, how did you even know I'd left Kashyyyk?
I didn't. Nobody knew where you were, not even Sunry. But I heard the Selkath mention you and your friends. The Force has brought you to help us.
Why? Whatever could be the matter, my dear?
Oh, it's horrible, Jolie. Sunry has been arrested. The Sith have accused him of murder.
Murder? But how?
It's all a mistake, Jolie. Sunry isn't a murderer. Someone is trying to frame him.
Calm down, Alora. Where's Sunry now?
Sunry's being held at the Selkath courts. They won't let anyone in to see him. Please, go to the courts. Talk to the judges. Maybe the Selkath will listen to you.
Don't worry, Alora. We'll get to the bottom of this and help Sunry. Somehow.
Yeah. Alright, that's the prison. Here's actually what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take Karth off for now. It's gonna be me and Jolie, because this is a very non-combat planet. Oh, that's something that's you can listen in on over here.
So, do we have a deal?
That's an awful lot of money. Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't be so suspicious. The Republic is generous. We pay our mercenaries well.
Makes sense, I guess. All right, I'm in. When do I start?
Just show up at the Republic Embassy tomorrow and speak to our representative there. I'm sure he'll have some task he wants you to start on right away.
Right. And that is it. That's not like it, but that's like all I got. And then another thing.
The Republic respects the peace of Auto City, Your Honor. But the Sith are a violent people who leave violence in their wake. I have 3 soldiers in the infirmary.
If the Republic soldiers were more capable, they would not have suffered such serious injuries. Are my soldiers to be punished simply because they won a fair fight?
I hardly call 6 against 3 a fair fight. The Sith are cowards who attack only when they have the advantage of numbers.
I'm aware of the Republic's indignation, however, witness reports indicate your Republic soldiers were as willing to engage in violence as the Sith in this case.
They were provoked, Your Honor. The Sith goaded them into this fight.
Taunts and threats are not sufficient provocation in the eyes of this court. Words can be ignored, which is what your men should have done. I find both the Republic and the Sith to be equally at fault for this breach of the peace. I should throw all parties involved into the Auto City jail, but since no Selkath were harmed in this conflict, I would show mercy and levy a fine of 10,000 credits to both sides. The court is dismissed, though I warn you that further disturbances will not be viewed with such leniency. Okay. So I need to talk to judges. I am Judge Shelker, acting on behalf of the Selkath government of Manaan. It is my task today to answer the needs and offer the citizens of both the Republic and the Sith Empire. If you have legitimate grievances with another party, you should speak to me. You should first however consult the Republic Embassy before pressing formal charges. There's something you wish to bring my attention. I would like to investigate the murder case involving Sunry. That is acceptable, I believe. In Manaan legal tradition, the defendant can have an arbiter who tries to prove his innocence in court. This arbiter is a neutral party that can investigate and present evidence in the trial and argue on the defense's behalf. As you are a Jedi, I believe you can perform this role adequately.
I suppose you're Sunry's only hope. We have to at least try to help
Basically a lawyer. So be it, you are now appointed arbiter in the case of Sunry versus the Sith Empire. Your name and position have been recorded in our files. I will now inform you of the pertinent facts in this case. You have a limited amount of time in which to investigate and organize the defense of your client, and I advise you to use it wisely. Sunry was seen leaving a hotel, leaving behind a dead Sith woman on Los Acuros. He's been charged with murder and is being held in the Auto City prison facilities. Due to his crippled status, he's being kept in a solitary holding cell. Witnesses claim to have seen the killing and are being detained at the hotel in question during the trial. The manager of the hotel is now informed of your appointment. The last was found dead of a blast wound with an incriminating Republic metal device in her hand. This information has been uploaded to your datapad. It would be wise to review all information when the trial starts. You may question some of the other witnesses. The evidence in this case is heavily stacked against Mr. Stonnery. I believe we'll take some of his guilt.
Yes, but it almost seems too heavily stacked, doesn't it? Very suspicious.
You may also interview the judges here, including myself, to get a better idea of the pertinent factors in this case. Since this is also your first case and you're an off-roader, I feel compelled to add good luck as my final missive. Okay. Wow, that is so much. Okay. Wait, there's stuff up here. Whee! Is this the cantina? It is. Boss. Human, I would just leave you if you have the time. Yeah. Greetings, human. My name is Neil Boss. I hope you are enjoying yourself here in Auto City. You're building beautiful. It's truly a wonder. Aren't you gracious, human? The beauty of Manaan is delicate, our ecosystem is complex and fragile, and I fear the preservation of my planet. What are you talking about? There's a small task I would ask, human Jedi. I fear there's nowhere else I can turn. What do you want me to do? Rest assured there will be an ample reward for this, human. I only require information, nothing more. The Republic has been hiring mercenaries, many more than usual. As an official of the Cellcat people, this is a great concern. I only seek the reason for this change in Republic policy. Why do you need me for this? I cannot trust anyone else. The Republic obviously wants to keep their secret. I have inquired often as to their purpose and been rebuffed. The Sith cannot be trusted to give me an accurate report of events. They will twist the truth to further their own goals. And the mercenaries are well aware of the high wage that the Republic is paying. They would not report anything that might slow the flow of credits into their accounts. If you cover the truth behind the Republic's actions, I will pay you 500
Be careful here, kid. Start poking your nose in a place that doesn't belong, and you might not like what you find.
Please see if you can find the answers I seek. Find why the Republic has hired so many mercenaries. Find where they're going. Find where they do not return. I'll look into it for you, Nilko. Once you discover some information, please come speak to me. Believe it or not, I am a friend of the Republic. Whatever the truth, I shall do my best to protect the Republic's interests and those of the subject, of course. Okay, cool. Travelers.
I heard the Sith are trying to work on a synthetic version of KotOR.
KotOR, yes.
I hope you're here to play some Pazak. I don't come here looking for sparkling conversation.
Yeah.
So lay your...
200? It's fine. I'm an old pro. I know how to play Pazak. I'm really good at it. I'm practically a professional. Oh. I'm a pro. I know how to play Pazak. I play it all the time, and I win all the time, too. So it's like a double whammy. Not only do I play it all the time, but I also win all the time. Yeehaw! Oh, get losered, loser. Oh, the 3-0 sweep. Oh. No. Never mind. Oh, I wasted my 6. Oh, the 3-0 sweep.
You got lucky that last game.
Yeah.
So
I'll play again. I'll keep taking your money. I'll keep taking your money. It's fine. Oh, he hustled me.
Hey, don't give up. Even you losers get lucky some.
Okay, bye. I'm done with you. That chain 0. These are other mercenaries. Mandalorian mercenary, Shayless. Greetings, human. My name is Shayless. I've heard the Sith. You know for the Sith. Is this true? The Sith are a blight upon the galaxy. I suspect we have little in common, human. I share just like the Sith. They brought me from my family. I'm not a fool. I know the Sith do not respect our laws as the Republic does. If it were up to me, I would do everything in my power to aid the Republic in the war against Malik. But intergalactic policies stay in my hands. Still, I know the Sith are evil, and I fear what they would do to my people, and what they may be doing now. What are you talking about? Many in the Cellcat have vanished, human. Most who have gone missing or are on the cusp of adulthood. You will someday leave this planet. My own daughter, Shasa, is among those who have disappeared. These disappearances coincide with the arrival of the Sith, and I cannot dismiss the connection. The Sith are up to something, human. Something sinister. I can feel it. You want me to investigate these disappearances? I will give you 500 credits if you can uncover the fate of my daughter and the other missing Cellcat youth. Not much, but all I can afford. I have no official authority in this matter, and my personal weapon is not vast. There's no one else I can turn to, human. The Republic agents are too closely watched by the Sith, and the Auto City authorities cannot act without proof of Sith involvement. I shall look into the disappearances for you, Shayless. You can't imagine where to begin the investigation, though I suspect the Sith did not act alone. Perhaps the off-worlder and the mercenary enclave know something. If you learn something, human, report back to me at once. If you uncover the fate of my daughter and the other missing Cellcat, I will reward you as promised. Okay. And Sith are also...
We might have a position within the Sith organization for one such as you.
Your offer is pretty good, but I've heard some nasty things about you, Sith. Is it true you bombed Taris into dust?
This is war. In war, certain distasteful acts cannot be avoided. But ask yourself this, when we win the war, would you rather be against the Sith or with us?
You make a good point. And I've never turned down a job that pays up front.
Excellent. Report to the Sith Embassy tomorrow for your assignment.
Right. Pretty sure these are the mercenary enclave? Yeah. Who do I talk to about swoop racing? Let me swoop race. Bigelow.
Hey man, clear out. You're cramping my style with the ladies.
Yeah, I'm an arbiter. Unlock the door. Beep beep. Sunry.
Jolie, what are you doing here? Alora sent me, Sunry. I'm here to get you out of this mess. The courts went and made us arbiters for your case.
Just like old times, eh, Jolie? You come swooping in out of nowhere to save my tail from the fire?
You saved my wrinkle butt more than a few times as well, friend, if I recall. But there'll be time for catching up later. Right now, we need to focus on the case.
The case is a complete frame-up. Anyone looking at the evidence could see that. Or so I thought. But the cellcasts seem to think that there's enough to go to trial. There aren't any witnesses. All that evidence against me is circumstantial and completely flawed.
Let's go over the evidence.
Well, I was at the hotel, I admit. And I did meet Alasa there that night, but it's not what you think. I was working with Republic intelligence. We were pretending to feed information to the Sith. Well, I turned Alasa into a double agent working for us. It was going well, too, until she turned up dead. Maybe the Sith had found out I was turning her and had her eliminated. But let's look at the facts they've given. Alasa was brutally killed. Think about that. She was a Sith, trained in battle, and I'm just a crippled old man. My war injuries make it difficult for me to walk, even to hold things. See how my hands are shaking? How could I kill a Sith warrior at close quarters? I ask you. Further, they say they found my heroes cross at a crime scene. Would I leave my war medal behind if I killed someone? Even I'm not that stupid. Obviously, the Sith planted the cross. And what about the lack of forensic evidence? Skin and hair samples, clothing fibers. Why isn't there anything like that at the crime scene? Sounds like an obvious frame-up to me. I hope you can see how the Sith are manipulating the Cellcat, and probably even you to set up this against me. We need to get this over with quickly and clear my name. Anything else I can help you with? I want my arbiter to be well prepared before we go to trial.
Bye.
Very well. Once you've gotten enough evidence to go to trial, just tell the warden we're ready.
Okay. That's something that we're probably going to spend a whole episode doing, and it won't be this one. Send Jolie home super quick, because I am supposed to meet the Genoharda and people here alone. Or not at all.
Your precious Republic's days are numbered. It won't be long until Malak turns his armada loose on Coruscant itself.
Save your empty threats, Sith scum. Malak isn't stupid enough to attack the core worlds, now with the entire Republic fleet waiting for him.
You're a fool. When the Sith descend on Coruscant, our numbers will block out the sun itself. The galactic senators will collapse trembling in fear and beg for mercy at Malak's feet.
You underestimate the Republic's resolve. We'll die before we surrender Coruscant.
That can be arranged. Remember what happened to Taris. Malak could do the same to the core worlds.
He wouldn't dare.
Now it is you who underestimate our resolve.
Okay, bye. There's Hulas and there's a shady Rhodian. Two different people. A human or still got everywhere, but you choose to speak with me. Am I so different? Do you think I have answers others do not? It's a rather strange greeting. These are strange times. The Sith and the Republic battle to control the galaxy. Their war destroys what they all seek to possess. The war sows fear and confusion. People are lost. They want guidance, direction. They have questions and they want answers. That's why I'm here. I too seek answers. Answers to what? The Republic, the Sith, the war, everything, nothing. Answers are always hardest to find when the questions are unclear, yet that does not stop us from searching. Who are you? A name is power in names, yet in the end a name alone means less than nothing. I'm Hulas, a traveler from the world of Duron. What's your name, human? My name's Sturk. Sturk, now we know something about each other, but really we still know nothing. What do you want with me, human? Senivet gave me a message to see you. Seni did not think you would come, but I knew better, Sturk. It is good that you've come alone, for if you ever come with others, I will not speak to you of these things. I'm Hulas of the Genoharda, a secret society of bounty hunters. For 1,000 generations we've existed, but always hidden beneath an impenetrable veil. I've never heard of you. If you ever ever have. We are shadow, darkness, and night. We are less than a whisper or a thought, and we have managed to keep our existence a secret far longer than most could ever imagine. If you were ever foolish enough to tell anyone about this meeting of the General Harden's existence, they would not believe you. They would probably think you were paranoid or mentally unstable. Not even those closest to you can know hiccup that we've approached you. If you ever speak to me around any of your companions, I will not discuss the General Harden. Do you understand, Sturk? I understand. I believe you speak the truth, Sturk, but remember this, if you ever betray us, the opportunity will be lost forever. Few among the galaxy have ever heard of the General Harden. They never see us, never know we're there. They do not even know we exist. If you do not follow our rules, we will vanish, and you will be like all the others. You will never see us again. We will be nothing but a figment of your imagination. But if you swear to keep the secrets of our order, we will live as a forbidden society known only to a handful throughout the galaxy. I'll preserve the secrecy of your order. Excellent, Sturk. We have high hopes for you within the guild if you prove yourself worthy. Listen closely, and I will give you your first glimpse into our secret world. We General Harden are an ancient guild of elite bounty hunters. For thousands of years, we've been at work throughout the galaxy, eliminating our targets in near total secrecy. How does anybody hire you if nobody knows you exist? In the highest quarters of power, a handful of people know we exist and how to contact us. Of course, these people are smart enough to keep this knowledge and carefully guarded secret. And on very rare occasions, when we are seeing new clients, one of our guild masters will approach a powerful political figure and offer our services when the time is ripe. What does this have to do with me? By killing KotOR, you've shown you have great potential. The General Harden can use someone like you if you're willing, and your work for us could be a great aid to the Republic. Why would the General Harden protect the Republic? General Harden have a vested interest in preserving the Republic. It is the perfect cover for our work. We operate behind the scenes, manipulating events through subtle machinations. Do you think the Republic has persisted for 15,000 years by mere accident? If not for our influence, distasteful as our methods may be to some, the Republic would have collapsed long ago. We understand the bureaucracy. I have to tab out of the game because I'm getting assignments that my final paper has been graded in one of my classes. Emails. We have learned how to alter the course of political events under the existing regime. We have no wish to see the Republic fall. Why would I want to join you? As I said earlier, your efforts here will help the Republic, and by aiding us, you will earn the right to join an exclusive organization with the power to alter the very course of galactic history. And of course, there's the simplest reason of all: the General Harden reward their agents very, very well. What do I have to do to join? As you can imagine, joining the General Harden is not a simple process. To begin with, you need proof of your loyalty and your competence. When you feel you're ready, I'll give you a task or target who must be eliminated. Of course, you'll have to come alone whenever you wish to discuss General Harden business. Alright, I'm ready. Killing KotOR was an impressive display of your skills, but there's more to General Harden than mere killing. To preserve the secrecy of our order, our agents must be discreet. You must be able to find and eliminate a target without drawing undue attention. You never mention your assignments to others, not even your closest allies. Also, you cannot ask people for information about your target. You must complete your mission using only the information I'll provide. Who's my target? You will assume something simple. Your first mission is to eliminate either two targets, a Grand Slaver named Zulan Centaur or a Rhodian anti-Republic terrorist named Lorgal. Zulan. Common in the galactic slavery to try to kidnap the daughter of Coruscant Senator. He failed and the girl was recovered, but Zulan himself escaped. You'll probably try another similar kidnapping soon. If he succeeds, he might ransom his victim in exchange for dangerous political secrets that could threaten the Republic. General Harden want to eliminate him when this happens, and release information places Zulan on Dantooine. He often sells illicit goods to the wealthy settlers of that world. His land speeder is spotted near one of these settlers' estates on Dantooine. Zulan rarely strays far from his speeder in case he needs to make a quick escape. You should look from there. Lorgal. Lorgal's a radical who wants to destroy the Republic through terrorist acts. He's responsible for 2 dozen bombings, leaving hundreds of civilians dead. He's recently captured and is being held prisoner from the Republic base here on Manaan, awaiting transport to Coruscant for trial and a chance to publicly voice his radical beliefs. You do not want to give him that chance. You must find a way to kill him before he leaves for Coruscant, but you must be subtle enough, like an accident or an unexplainable death. The Republic will be glad to get rid of Lorgal, so they won't investigate his death closely. As long as he isn't struck down by a weapon in the cell, the General Harden will be satisfied. Anything else? Tell no one about this. There are others with you when you confront Zulan or Lorgal. Make it seem as if you are acting on behalf of the Republic, not the General Harden. That's all for now. Return to me with either Lorgal or Zulan dead, and I will reward you. If you wish to complete both missions, feel free. You will be suitably rewarded for each. Alright, this is when our alignment starts going down a little bit. The Shady Rhodians here. Why do you bother me, human? I do not wish to speak to you. Why are you just standing here in a corner? I'm here for my own reasons. Those who know me and wish to do business know can be found here. You either do business with me or leave. Business? I trade myself as Dark for business interest. If you're interested, we can do business, otherwise leave. Let's see. He's got Pazak cards. What's this? What's this? What's this? It is a big hallway. What's this? In East Courtyard that way. Listen, okay, there was short notice. I didn't think I'd need to find a rhyme that quickly. Is this the Sith Embassy? No, this is the General Store.
How much for all this stuff, Tyvark?
For the Sith, a month's pay, but since you remember the Republic, I will charge you a week's salary.
Thanks, Tyvark. Catch you next week.
Tyvark, you're a good boy.
I always shop here. Tyvark's prices are the best in the city.
Thanks, Republic soldier. I heard from several customers that you are now the arbiter during the murder trial of Sunray, the Republic war hero. I admire your perspective and position. I've known that Sunray has been framed by the Sith. If there's anything I can do to aid your investigation, I have to help. What do you know? No, I help. Nothing too great. Ignis.
You're the one defending Sunray now, huh? Well, the hotel's open for you. And I guess I gotta answer any questions you want, too.
Tell me what you saw the night of the murder.
The Sith woman, Alasa, rented a room in the hotel. An hour or two later, Sunray comes in and goes to her room. A couple hours later, I hear a blaster shot and see Sunray running. He can't run good because he's a cripple, but he still was going pretty fast. I would swear he started after the shot, though.
Could it have gone off after he left?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, just barely. But I wouldn't say that to the court.
You could testify it happened after he left.
No way.
Okay, bye.
What do you
know about Sunray and Alasa?
Alasa used to rent rooms here every week or so. Then Sunray would come by a couple hours later and stay all night. It doesn't take a genius to figure out what was going on.
Who were the witnesses?
There were only 2 other people in the hotel when it happened. One was a Rhodian named Glupor. Seems like a really dirty, shifty type. Normally, I don't let his kind in here. I'm a reputable businessman, you know. But there weren't many people here, so I decided to take a chance. The other is a regular named Feareth Me. He's a Pazak player. Probably an addict, but he claims he's big in some circles. Don't know anything about him other than that. Anything else you want to know?
Not really.
Well, okay.
Thank you, Ignis. This is Alasa's room. Footlocker. This is the med pack. Could have sworn there was something more important in there, but you know what? It's fine. Glupor. You're a Selkath. You have questions for Glupor. Glupor already say everything he knows. Do you know about the Selkath youths who've gone missing? Glupor heard of it, yes, but Glupor has been locked in his room for 2 days. 2 days, per days. I think it rather poor insight to think he knows something. I have questions about the murder of Alasa. Glupor tell everything to Selkath you not know. Glupor have no reason not to say. Glupor tell everything about murder in the Sith lady's room. Why were you at the hotel? Glupor staying at a hotel. Glupor not very rich. Hotel much too rich for Glupor to live at. Glupor saved for weeks to have enough to stay here for a few days. Using Glupor's chance to live better for a while. You know, I said I wasn't gonna do this episode, and I'm just now realizing that. Oh well, what'd you see? Glupor's Nazi murder? Oh no, Glupor did see your Republic guy, the cripple, Sunray's name. Glupor see Sunray running away from scene of crime. Glupor see nothing else at all, especially not in the Sith lady's room. What about Alasa's room? Glupor's curious, kinda curious to see what happened. Glupor had no reason to go in, no one paid Glupor to do it. You wanna tell me who paid you and for what? Glupor wanna tell you someone paid him money to plant metal on body. Glupor wanna tell you this because you're Glupor's friend, good friend. Maybe give Glupor money, maybe not. Box. 100 credits, Feareth Me.
You with the Selkath? You here to see me about the murder, too? I told the damn fish everything I knew. What more do you all want from me?
What do you know about Sunray and Alasa?
Sunray, I only heard of once or twice in passing. Some sort of old-time war hero against the Sith. Seen him around in the hotel, too. Going to Alasa's room always, of course. Kept the rest of the building up half the night with their damn antics, usually.
Means Sunray was having a relationship with Alasa.
I'm not saying anything like that. What they did in that room, in private, is their business. And there isn't any rule against Sith and Republic seeing each other for personal reasons. Although if you think her Sith Master didn't know, you must be fooling yourself.
Sith Master?
Oh, well, Alasa was a Sith, so of course she'd have to have someone above her. Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Maybe I tossed in 100 credits that I just took out of the box next to you?
100 credits isn't enough.
You know what you want to tell me.
You know? I think I could trust you. Heck, I don't even know why I shouldn't tell you. Well, one time, I saw Alasa coming in wearing this big cloak. I was on my way to my room, and she normally wears stuff like that, so I didn't pay her too much attention. But this time, I accidentally brushed up against her. Accidentally, of course. And her cloak fell open. Now, I don't have any qualms about the Sith. I leave them alone, and they leave me alone. And seeing as how Alasa had a Sith lightsaber under her cloak, I'm not going to poke that hornet's nest.
She was a dark Jedi?
Seems so. But I'm not getting myself in any further with the Sith. I know how ruthless they are. Now that's all I'm going to tell you. I'll testify it to the court, but you aren't going to get anything else out of me.
What'd you see?
I was in my room, minding my own business with the latest copy of Pazak Weekly, checking out the listings for the big tournament that's going to be held here soon, when I heard a blaster shot. Being still alive, and therefore smart enough not to stick my head out immediately, I didn't go out right away. I looked out after a minute and saw Glupor in the hall by Alasa's room, and Sunray running like the wind. You can't tell me that someone who was running like that, and he was pretty fast for a cripple, isn't guilty.
Hope I didn't screw things up by force persuading him. That'd really be a shame. Who's you?
You, Jedi. I hear you're investigating the Sunry murder trial, are you not? This case is not at all what it appears to be. Many currents, might I say, flow beneath the surface.
What do you mean?
This murder is much more complicated than it may first appear. Sunry and Elassa are proxies for their governments, and both sides want the other to fail. You can see the journey by the footprints. You understand, yes?
I think so, kind of.
Dear. I'm saying they both had something to do with it. They've both kept their hands in this from the start. If you want to get to the bottom of this murder, you might seek information from both the Sith and the Republic, likely in their embassies.
Why should I believe you?
Because you have no one else to trust. Not Sunry, not the witnesses, and certainly not the judges. And if you take my advice, what have you to lose? Heed my advice, Jedi, and you may yet find the truths in this murder.
I mean, I know what happened. I know what happened, but, in character, I don't. Republic Embassy, and then we'll wrap this up.
Welcome to Manaan. I'm Roland Wan. As the official representative of the Republic Embassy on this planet, I'm here to help all citizens of the Republic should they require aid.
I'm on a mission from the Jedi Council. Perhaps you can help me with it.
Oh, of course. Of course, I'll do whatever I can. But I'm only a simple diplomatic representative of the Republic. I doubt I can be of any use to the Jedi Council.
Seek a star map, the remnant of an ancient and forgotten race.
An ancient and forgotten race. And you think it may be here on Manaan?
You know something?
Well, perhaps. But if you want to get information about that, you'll have to do something for me first.
What do you want me to do?
We were using a submersible reconnaissance droid in the ocean surrounding Otto City, and it was damaged. It took a data recording of the outside of the city before being driven off by the Faraxan sharks. But while it was returning to the surface, it encountered difficulties and was disabled. Its automatic systems floated it to the surface, but we could not retrieve it in time. The Sith were applying subtle pressure to the Selkath authorities for some reason we've not determined, and were able to delay us long enough that they could retrieve the droid before we did. The droid's data centers are heavily encrypted, so it will take the Sith several days, we believe, to get to its data. It was captured 12 hours ago. It is imperative that we get it back.
What's this recording?
It's intelligence information about Sith activities on Manaan, as well as some oceanographic reports on the local marine life.
Where's the droid?
It's heavily guarded, we're sure, in the Sith embassy here on Manaan. Since we have no remaining soldiers to spare, and certainly not our elite ones, we have no one capable of entering the Sith base and retrieving it. That is what we would ask you to do.
How do I get in the Sith base?
There are several leads we've been working on to get into the Sith base. Any of them should work for you, although it might be wise to concentrate your efforts on just one. The first method that's possible is to help us interrogate a Sith prisoner we managed to catch after he tried to infiltrate our base. He's being held just inside our enclave. We think he may be able to give us the passcode that the Sith give their informers to enter the base. He has proved most resilient so far.
Is there another way?
We managed to pick up a crate of blank Sith data cards, the type they use for passcards. The encryption system to unlock them is very difficult, however. But if you are more skilled than our technicians, you may be able to gain access that way.
Is there another?
The Sith have got the Selkath to give them exclusive use of one of the main hangar bays. Visiting Sith masters use this bay to land, then take a speeder over the water to an external entrance to the Sith enclave. The luckless spy we mentioned earlier had a pass card to that hangar on him. While it is surely well guarded, it may prove to be the most direct route. Here's the card. The Sith base itself is very heavily guarded. If they became aware of your presence, I fear you would be quickly outnumbered and killed. Here is a pass card to get you inside our facility. You should find all you need to get started in there. You can choose whichever of the methods you want, as long as you get in the base and get the data recording back. Which method do you think you would like to try first?
I'll try the card.
Good choice. We've been working at that for a while, but it's been too difficult so far. Maybe you'll have better luck. I wish you luck in your task. Should you retrieve the data recording from the droid, return it here to me, and we can see about getting you that information.
I've never actually successfully decrypted the card. I've always wanted to do it, though. So, that's Lorgol? I have to kill you. Who has good computer? No, T3's the lad. T3's just kind of a skill monkey, you know what I mean? Here we go, T3, do it. Slice the computer, 1 spike. Kill prisoner, 2 spikes. Oh, he got lore gold. Oh, he got wargled. Poison and then shocked.
What?
Ooh, 100 spikes to open the bay doors. Nah. Ooh. Wonder what that actually does. Restricted data archives. Downloading Sunry Incident Archive. The computer screen switches to a fisheye view for some sort of small surveillance device on a wall. A beautiful young woman, hot lady enters the room, followed by a much older man. As she walks farther into the room, he softly closes the door, pulls out a blaster, and shoots her in the back. This must be some sort of secret recording of Sunry murdering Alasa. So he did it. He did it. Oh wait, hold on, T3. Decrypt Sith Paths card. 0, 3, 5, 7. Oh, okay. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Does not even matter. I'll, yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Have you...
No, I'm not. Okay. Hold on.
Have you managed to retrieve the data from...
No, I'm gonna not do that one. But, I'm actually gonna end the episode now. I don't know how long it's going. I'm gonna try to edit it down to, like, an acceptable length. Hopefully I can actually do that. So, thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna hop off planet now. I'm gonna actually go... Come on. I'm gonna go to Dantooine. I'm gonna start the next episode on Dantooine. And I'm going to do that other bounty, and then I'll be back here. So thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and bye-bye.